Today we're cooking some beef ribs on the meat clamp, Argentine clamp, and the Argentine Santa Maria grill. We've got a good bed of embers down here. Let me show you what we have to work with here. This is what we're cooking over right here. Coming out pretty good. The bones are just slightly starting to separate from the meat. It's starting to see the white bones over here. It's starting to transfer heat from the front side, skin down toward the bone. That's going to protect the meat. It's starting to show its teeth a little bit, the white bones. Pretty tasty. We got a ways to go here. I thought I'd show you this. We got these seasoned up. We got a little chili powder mixed slightly with some paprika and black pepper on the back of these ribs here for some flavoring. Yeah, that's about all I can stand right there holding that up. Wind's starting to get up here a little bit on us. But I've been putting this off on cooking. It's to a lot of people across the country, it's really cold, but down here we got a lot of moisture where we are here in north central Florida. It's the weather had not been ideal even in the middle of the daytime, especially if you're out of the shadows and you're not in the sunlight, and that you get a little bit of that sun on you. You can work outside, but a lot of the slow landers, so to speak, it's a little brutal on us. So I've declined to do a cook in the past couple of days, but we're gonna carry this out. And I think our next cook is going to be either the wood-fired oven or our Curvary over here. Let's see here. Some of our other cookers over here. The Curvary is it's a vertical cooker, meat smoker. It's extremely versatile. You can do so much with it. It's just either briquettes or wood chunks, lump charcoal, set your fire, get it where you want, and just walk away from it. I mean, it's well insulated. I mean, believe me, it'll never let you down. Really works great. Yeah, I see the wind got up a little bit on us. Those juices are starting to drip out of that meat. A little warm. Starting to get a good aroma coming out of that as well. I see the inside of the ribs. I was walking on the back side. I see bone marrow coming out a little bit, and I see a few bubbles on the inside coming out, so that means those bones are getting hot, cooking that meat. We're going to do a flip here in a little bit. I'll keep monitoring and let you know when we're going to flip us around. She's really looking good down here from the backside. Yeah, she really looking good back here. Yeah, I see those juices, some of them are just really bubbling up real good. So I guess we're gonna have a good afternoon snack on some beef ribs. Yeah, good aroma going, good aroma. Let me get it. Never hurts. A little apple juice, cut with a little bit, just a little bit of vinegar. You want to keep it a little bit moist. That's some real good heat going right there. Yeah, my buddy over in DeLand, pick up that telephone, buddy, Keith, and give me a call sometime, okay? I know you're busy making all that money, but take out a little time or look at your schedule, and I'll even meet you over at Sparky's. We get us a burger. All right, what do you think about that? Also, Mr. Keith, what do you think about and from the 1st of December to the 31st, 36 Panthers got killed. That's an old subject you and I need to rekindle and talk about. 36 of them got killed by cars and trucks. Don't you think that's superb management? And on FWC's part, what do you think about that? Write that down in your little book so we can talk about it. All right. But I've already put a call in to Colonel Young and George and those guys over at FWC. Honestly, I'm really embarrassed about this. People calling me from all over the country. Had a phone call, two phone calls from New Mexico yesterday and wanted to know what in the world's going on down here. They don't get 36 killed in 20 years by cars. That's what happens when you I guess it's relying on textbook ways to their biologists on their so-called natural movement. manage the most endangered species on the planet. You know, put that in your pipe and smoke it, guys. But anyway, so much for that right now. We'll get into that later on. We're going to start talking about that later on, and what I'm trying to do in my efforts. And to do that, you can go to www.acprp.org. That's www.acprp.org. That's what I'm doing in the background. Okay? But enough of that for right now, and let's get back to our cook here. I mean, that whole thing, that subject matter, and the way I see that these animals are being managed, it just makes me sick. And really, it ought to be considered animal cruelty, as many of them has been killed. I'd already been indicted if I was managing wildlife like that, especially an endangered species. And U.S. Fish and Wildlife, you got a hand in this thing too, as well too. Don't take the long road and walk around this thing, because I'm not going away, guys. I don't go away. That's not in my playbook, and I will never ever evade that or walk away from it. But I might step away here in a little bit and get me a soda to drink here. My throat is getting a little dry. But anyway, she's coming along here really great. And I'm telling you what, I'm going to give it just a little bit more before we do our flip. Okay? Before I turned the camera on, I had I had some wood over here. God, this stuff has been under my wood rack for 16, 17 months, and I put it in my splitter over here that I made, my vertical splitter. Made taking bigger pieces and making smaller pieces out of it to burn a lot better. But we got some good embers going now, transferring a lot of heat off the brick floor in this cooker. Yowza, it's hot. Also, Manly Fuller up in Hickory, North Carolina, you're probably still in New Mexico at your wildlife conference, you and your wife, sipping on some wine, probably at lunchtime, having a good meal, and hope you run into Miss Sarah out there, and don't forget to tell her that her and I need to talk here real soon. I wish you safe travels, and we'll talk about that later. Don't forget to give me a call when you return home. But while we're talking about New Mexico, I do want to thank Nail from Old Time Olive. He sent me 3 cases of olive oil that I wanted to top off my cooks with, and I'll tell you, I've got some blackberry ginger balsamic. That's great. And actually, I finish off my salmon cooks when I'm cooking salmon, and that stuff's got to taste like no other. You can drizzle it on your salad. That's what it's for. But I've been using it on fish, and you wouldn't believe how good it is. And he sent me garlic infused olive oil. I think I got a case of that, and I got infused butter infused oil, and I have a harissa, Harissa. That is I think it's probably got some chili peppers in it, but it's not as intense as the green chili pepper infused olive oil, which is really good. It's probably my favorite, but I don't use a lot of it. I don't know who's going to stop by and have a piece of meat. And that's not for everybody. It's not really that hot, but some people say when it starts to bite them a little bit, that oh, it's too hot for me. But it's really not. You could even put it in your egg omelets, and it is good. I know my grandson sometimes when I would make his omelets, he really enjoyed it. Really enhances. You wouldn't believe the flavor in an omelet, but everything. But folks, I'm gonna step away just for a little bit and go get me a soda. Be right back. Had to go get a drink, wet the old whistle, so to speak. Feels a lot better. I can only talk so much anymore before I get dried out, especially this time of year. Let me take a gander down here. Boy, these really look good on the end. They're showing their teeth here really well. Uh, the bones are the meat's starting to separate from the bone and pull back. Looking good. I might just let her go just a little bit longer though. Really smelling good. Excuse me. If I could take that smell and somehow put it in that camera and it'd come out in the videos. Well, we'd be doing that right now. It'd probably be a lot of money involved. But it does smell good though, folks. It does smell good. see if we have what kind of transfer heat we have here on the back of this meat. Yeah, I think that she's going to be ready to flip here real soon. Even at the lowest point. That's what these things have. The bigger the bone, the more heat they transfer. Like on the dinosaur ribs, if you can, lucky enough to find them, or if you can afford them, put it that way. Oh, that tastes good. That they're big, gigantic, wide bones, and they transfer a lot of heat. You get a faster cook on a piece of meat that's got a wider bone than you do if a more of a narrow bone like your spare ribs. The bigger the bone, the faster it to transfer that heat. Yeah, we're gonna be flipping here just most any time. Okay, folks, we will go ahead and flip them around. Here, I'll show you what we have here. That's the back side, that's the bone side right there. And I did leave the skin on to help protect them and hold them together. This is kind of awkward, but we got it. Let's go on up one notch. Put the thermometer on. Oh yeah, I think that's what the doctor ordered right there. Job on a picanha or a piece of steak. Now that clamp would work great on a picanha. You cut it whole, you cut it into steaks and just flip it around. It'd be ideal. Pardon me for a little bit. Gotta cheat a little bit here now, folks. Yeah. She's gonna be real good. We're gonna leave her there for just a little bit, give her a go, and I tell you what, it tastes awful good. Unbelievable. You don't have to put a lot of stuff on these ribs. You know what? Just basically, you can put pepper on them if you want to. I put a salt on it pretty heavy on the front and the back, especially that skin in the back. Make it real crispy. That'd be real good too, with it crisped up like that. And then toward the end, you can put pepper, you can put your barbecue sauce on them. But I want to tell you what, these steaks taste out of this world just the way they are right now. You see, I did get my knife and a little fork here. So, I do have a lot nicer knives as well too. I have a whole drawer full of Dalstrong over there, but you know what? I always gravitate to these knives right here. Victorinox, this is what I'm trying to say. This is what they are. That's the knife of choice for the bearded butchers out of Ohio. Two brothers that have a operation. They do some cooking. They have all kinds of spices and rubs and everything like that too. Two big old boys, and they do it upright. They got a good product. They use this as a knife of their choice as butchers, the Victorinox. This is more of a paring knife right here. I've got a white one. They do stay sharp. Oh yeah. What I'll do is, when I take these out of that clamp, meat clamp, I'll lay them on a flat pan with tin foil, and I'll lay the ribs down, meat side up, and then I'll take that olive oil that I was talking about a while ago. I think I'll take a big liter bottle of that butter infused and drizzle over top of it, and lay a piece of tin foil on top and kind of crimp it around the edge of the pan and let it set for about 15 minutes before I dive into them. Crunchy. Ooh, that's warm. Too much for me to mess with. Since the hair is on your knuckles. Oh yeah. I'm still with you folks. I'm over here just dreaming about diving into these ribs. Almost sometimes like, when's it going to be ready? When's it going to be ready? I guess it's ready anytime you want to jump on it, you want to eat it. On beef, I'll eat it rare, but on pork, I do like it a little beyond pink, white. That is the other white meat, right? But earlier, years back, or when I was a lot younger, I used to eat a lot of. I used to eat. I was solitary in the woods for 3 and 4 months at a time without ever coming out and seeing a human. And I used to kill my own game. Believe it or not, a slingshot, folks. And I'd take young deer or whatever and eat it. You know, cook it over a fire, build a little pit lined in rocks. I had 3 or 4 of those in an area of about stretched out for about 25, 30 miles that I'd use. Didn't stay in one place too long at all. That's when I was chasing the elusive mountain lion on foot, following them and living in their habitat. But I had a lot of experience on cooking game over fires back then, and even heating stones up and trying to find embers and stuff, build embers out of pieces of, you know, not totally rotten wood, but, you know, wood, you know, something to cook the meat with. But I've eaten a lot of meat on the rare side because of, you know, upcoming storms and that sort of thing. But this is a real pleasure right here cooking over this bed of embers because we know what we're dealing with, not living in the wild, so to speak. It makes it for a person to be socially awkward when you come back into area where there's people. You have to deal with people or even talk to them when you're gone so long like that it makes it hard. But anyway, I did that years ago. Oh, yes, sir. Yes, almost a sin not to put some more meat over that fire. Flavor that you get from something like that is just unbelievable. You know, if you're sitting down there in Argentina with a family like that, but we'd be doing this all day long, and ain't no telling how many bottles of wine that the patriarch of the family, or his brothers, or his father, a lot of those guys own. You know, they had you know, 15 to 20 acre vineyard. Most all those people have nice tracts of land, hectares, and raise their own grapes and make their own wine, and they're really proud of that. And believe me, you wouldn't believe the bottles of wine that a family of 4 or 5 or 6 people would go through. And this, I mean, I'm talking about this goes on for a minimum of 4 hours and all day long into the dark. And I've never seen people drink so much wine in my life. I think they got the people in Italy beat. They really know how to entertain, and their asado cooking is superb. That's basically what we're doing here, but we're not drinking a lot of wine while we're cooking. I'll make an ass out of myself easy enough without out here sporting a glass of wine, you know. Take a little nibble off this back here. I didn't have my breakfast this morning, folks. That's what she looks like so far. Look at that. Looking good in the neighborhood. Really delicious. I'll share a little bit of this with you. Look how tender that is. Nice and tender. Just about ready. You know, it's back to you here for a little bit. It's amazing though, if you just, I've cooked ribs like this before and just put nothing but salt on them, didn't even put any pepper on them. It's just amazing how great they taste. You know, it's the difference of cooking a pork tenderloin, but in a pork chop. If you cook a piece of meat that's got a bone in it, it's going to taste a lot better. Oh yeah, buddy, I want to tell you what, this thing's really talking to me now. Wish you could see this. through that membrane, that bone. You know what? I think just I'm gonna pull these damn things off of here, and we will go for it. Get my gloves on so I don't burn myself. Pull my little Carta pen out of there. Let's change camera angles over here so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, let's go up here over here by the big oven. Okay. Let's see if we can get this rack out of here without wrecking everything. Yeah, we just might take them out of there just like this. There you go, folks. Look at that. See that? Would that look good? Wish you could smell that though. All right, let me take these gloves off and I'll do a little cut for you guys. Oh man, tastes good. Make sure we got you in focus. See me? Oh yeah. Nice and juicy, folks. Believe me, that's really, really, really good. Let me get a little bite of this. I'm gonna really rub it in now. Nice and tender for beef ribs. Oh, that's really good. Folks, I can't stand it any longer. Like I always said, I've always say that I've done enough damage. I've done enough damage now. I've got to go do some damage on these ribs. Until next time, thank you for putting up with me. I'm over and out. Thank you.